Rapper Diddy is named in another civil lawsuit, but this time it is his son that is the main defendant. A woman accuses Christian King Combs of sexually assaulting her on a yacht. We are going to break down this latest legal action as Sean Combs remains embroiled in an apparent sex trafficking investigation. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. We told you just the other day, right here on Sidebar, that the attorney who filed one of these bombshell lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs on behalf of his client, a former Diddy producer named Rodney Jones, would likely be filing another suit against Combs' son, Christian, and that has just happened. Yes, in fact, the yacht incident, which we're going to get into, was mentioned in Jones's lawsuit against Diddy, with Jones claiming in the complaint that he had personal knowledge that Christian drugged and sexually assaulted a woman. And a footnote was included that a complaint would be forthcoming. Now, at the time, I was wondering if Jones would be the one suing Christian. After all, he already sued Christian's brother and Diddy's other son, Justin. But I was struggling to figure out what would be his cause of action against Christian. Well, it turns out that Jones is not suing Christian. It is actually the woman who was allegedly assaulted by Christian, and she is being repped by Jones's lawyer. I will explain. So first, this development comes almost 2 weeks after Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles were raided by Homeland Security investigators. It's part of a sweeping sex trafficking investigation by the Southern District of New York, or at least that's what it's being reported. That's what sources from law enforcement are indicating. Now, Diddy's two sons, Justin and Christian, they were seen in handcuffs outside of that LA home during the raid. They weren't under arrest. They were merely detained while officers were assessing the situation and going into the home. But Diddy, Justin, and Christian, they have all been named in these very big lawsuits. But remember, that is civil. That is the civil arena. None of them have been arrested or charged with any crime related to this apparent criminal investigation. But our analysts here on Sidebar expect that at least one arrest will be coming soon. But now we fast forward to Thursday, when attorney Tyrone Blackburn, the man already representing Rodney Jones, filed a civil complaint on behalf of his client, Grace O'Markey. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her last name, but I believe it is O'Markey. Grace O'Markey in Los Angeles Superior Court, accusing 26-year-old Christian Combs of drugging her and sexually assaulting her in December of 2022 when she was working in a charter boat in St. Martin. So according to the lawsuit, Markey says that she had been working as a steward, providing food and drinks on that yacht for a 12-hour period.
Christian is the famous musician Manjul Shah's son. Recent footage purportedly showing satanic rituals involving Diddy Combs' father has made headlines. These claims have shocked the entertainment industry and sparked intense debate and concern among fans and critics alike. In this in-depth analysis, we will examine the context of these claims, the responses from various stakeholders, and the potential ramifications for Diddy, his family, and the music industry as a whole.
Yeah, you got to give her respect for that, man. But what you think about the diss record that King Combs came out with, where he was coming at 50 and coming at everybody, coming at his dad? Like, how you feel about that record?
Well, first, I want to say to this young man, before somebody take his head off, because see, that's that new school bull crap that these kids out here, they easy to fly off their mouth with that. You don't invite a man to your private. You don't invite a man to your private unless you doing the Diddy. If two men lay down, how many homos get up? Let me tell you, young man, 2 of them. You understand? So don't invite a man to your private, because that man will see you and take your head off. Especially somebody like 50. You don't send or let a boy do a man's job. I don't know if he need that type of attention or he want that type of attention. Evidently he do. But 50 is the wrong dude that you want to do that type of attention, get that kind of attention from, bro. And the infamous words of Waka Flocka, that nigga go hard in the paint. And I don't believe that this cat would even put out some trash like that and really didn't know what he was doing. He's teasing the federal government. And I told y'all, the Southern District of New York do not play. So King Kong just put another battery in their back. And you see after he did that shit, something get leaked to the press. Do you notice that, right? As soon as he did that dumb shit, talking about, well, we did this and we did that. We had this over here, y'all went to the wrong house. Some went to, he said, well, we're gonna show you how wrong we are. Yo, CNN, run this. Action, roll them. Don't play with the feds, bro. Because you got to realize this. They got a lot of time. All they got is time. Yo, they going to sit there, people sitting up there, and they want something. See, people like a fix. They need that fix real quick. They want them to hurry up and charge Diddy with something or see what they got on him. The feds going to take their time. May take 6 months, may take a year, may take 2 years. They got up to 3 years to bring their case up. They got 3 years. So they checking everything about them. They gonna dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people feel like he played a part in that video coming out. You know, him making a comment saying that, you know, they forgot to raid the house next door that his dad owned. Yeah, man, he was walling out.
Rapper and model Christian Combs, better known by his stage as King Combs, was raised in a wealthy and well-known household and has been following in his father's footsteps in the entertainment business. Despite pressure and expectations, Christian, who has always been in the spotlight, is often considered as the successor to Diddy's empire. He has managed to forge his own identity while juggling his career with his father's legacy.
I'm tired of this nepo baby debate that everyone's having. Everyone's coming for kids of famous people and nepotism. Yeah. You must be so sick and tired of that debate.
Not really. You know, heavy is the head that wears the crown, so you got a big legacy to fill up too.
Oh, I love that.
And right now, bad boy be #1. Let's go, baby.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Do you feel at all any sort of way about benefiting from your dad's success, or you just think life is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
You can be born good looking or ugly, you can be born smart or
yeah.
You know, or poor or rich or anything.
Yep.
How
do you be you?
Right. How do you feel about, you know, being born into, you know, a lucky situation?
You know, I feel like I'm blessed. You know, we're gonna take the legacy far, further and further. Bad boy for life, you know what it is.
So last thing, what do you have to say to people who aren't for nepo babies? Have you got any sort of message for those sort of people who are like haters?
For what?
Have you got any message for the haters who just go, I'm good on nepo babies, they're giving everything? Have you got a message for those haters?
Just can't stop, won't stop, never stop. Just stop hating, that's it.
I love that, man. Hey, good. Oh, shit, sorry, man. Love you, man. Appreciate you. See you later.
The entertainment industry has mostly kept quiet about the matter, but a few insiders have spoken out anonymously about their concerns, saying that even though they haven't personally seen these rituals, they are not completely shocked by the allegations. The industry leader's lack of response has only served to fuel rumors and speculation, strengthening the idea that something sinister may be at work. In a public statement, Sean Diddy vehemently refuted the accusations, calling them ludicrous and defamatory. He highlighted his long-standing dedication to Phil's philanthropy and positive influence in the industry. He also threatened legal action against anyone who continues to spread these claims and expressed his deep disappointment in his son for spreading what he views as baseless lies.
Yeah, you got to give her respect for that, man. But what you think about the diss record that King Combs came out with, where he was coming at 50 and coming at everybody, coming at his dad? Like, how you feel about that record?
Well, first, I want to say to this young man, before somebody take his head off, Cause see, that's that new school bull crap that these kids out here, they easy to fly off their mouth with that. You don't invite a man to your private. You don't invite a man to your private unless you doing the Diddy. If two men lay down, how many homos get up? Let me tell you, young man, 2 of them. You understand? So don't invite a man to your...
It's unknown what drives Christian's behavior. While some conjecture that he is really worried about the actions he claims to have revealed, others contend that his choice to release the tape to the public may have been motivated by personal or financial considerations. Without a doubt, Christian deeds have exposed the entire family's private life and caused a big rift among the family.
Yeah, I think he was just bullshitting. I don't believe he bought the house next door. Because let me just tell you something. If anything or any name that had to do with Bad Boy, the federal government gonna run that. They know all the properties Diddy have. They wasn't even talking about the raid that they did in New York, but they did a raid in New York too.
Yeah, I ain't hear about that raid. I only heard about the, the LA and Miami raid. But you feel like the feds, they released that video over King Combs' comments.
Oh man, I've worked in law enforcement for 27 years. And I had the opportunity to see HIDA. It's a place, whereas they have the state, the feds, the NYPD, the Department of Corrections, and the state police. Yo, this place could be half of a basketball court. That's where they just got lines of computers with officers of all different people and officers just on the internet. Whoever's over that case, whoever's working that case, don't you know they saw that and took it to their boss? You might think it's petty, but it's not. You do not agitate a lion with a pork chop. And that's what that kid did, bro.
Some people feel like, Diddy, he played a part in that video coming out too. Him being spotted with Stevie J, smiling at the camera. A lot of people blame him too.
But bro, what did I tell you? He's such a narcissist that he has to be in the public. Listen to me. They just caught him on TMZ today or yesterday or something like that, walking out and about. Now, I'm not telling the man what to do, what he couldn't do. I don't know if the government told he couldn't travel nowhere, he couldn't be nowhere and stuff like that. But why are you gonna go outside your own compound where TMZ and every other place is waiting on you? You're not gonna get any public sympathy. That's why he had that picture of him and his father around his neck. You're not going to get no sympathy. You're done. Stick a fork in it. Call it a quit. Apologize to Big's mother for putting her son in that position that he loses his life. It's crazy. He better do a Russell Simmons.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that, man. They saying that he gonna pull a Russell Simmons.
Well, anything's possible, bro, but I don't know if the feds will allow him since they got an open investigation on him.
The viral nature of the content has ensured that the allegations remain a hot topic of conversation, reaching audiences far beyond the typical fan base of the celebrity family. If the footage is proven to be fake or manipulated, Christian could face serious legal consequences for defamation and slander. On the other hand, if there is any truth to the allegations, it could lead to criminal investigations and significant legal repercussions for those involved. The legal ramifications will depend heavily on the authenticity of the footage and the ramifications.
Facts. he really let me do what I want to do. Like, he don't really control nothing like that, but I always go to him for advice. He's like one of the top people that I would go to for advice. And most of the time, you know, it's like teamwork. We listen to each other, but at the end of the day, I'm my own artist. He's his own artist. He got a single out right now. Gotta move on. It's lit. So, yeah. Best piece of advice? Probably can't stop, won't stop. Because we can't stop, man. It's out now. Yeah, he always say just like, follow your dreams. Like, don't let nobody get in the way. And really just give it like 110%. Don't halfway do it. If you want to be a rapper, then study rap all day. If you want to be a scientist, study that all day. Yeah. Bad Boy, Empire. Right now I'm a free agent though. Yeah, but I'm a bad boy for life regardless though. That's a fact. It's fire. Yeah, it's lit. Like Empire, Ghazi's lit. Yeah. Now we got a couple labels, a couple fire labels. But nah, I'm a bad boy for life, man. CYN, y'all know what it is. Can't stop, won't stop, bad boy. You heard. Man, I don't know. Mace, it's all love. He a bad boy, was a bad boy, but I'm the new bad boy. We outside.
The viral nature of the content has ensured that the allegations remain a hot topic of conversation, reaching audiences far beyond the typical fan base of the celebrity family. If the footage is proven to be fake or manipulated, Christian could face serious legal consequences for defamation and slander. On the other hand, if there is any truth to the allegations, it could lead to criminal investigations and significant legal repercussions for those involved. The legal ramifications will depend heavily on the authenticity of the footage and the ramifications.
Do you think Diddy can come back from this? Because a lot of people saying it's over for him.
Oh, it is over for him. Come back to where? To be in the entertainment business? Listen to me, man. And I don't want to bring this guy's story up because it's old. And I know he's trying to live past it, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Ray Rice, his wife, spit in his face. And he did what he did on that elevator. He ain't played one football game after that. Nowhere that I know of. He may have went overseas and played or something like that. I don't know that to be true. But he didn't play in the NFL, a hell of a running back. He ain't played not one down in the NFL after that. No endorsements. Nobody's going to have anything to do with old boy. And when they come out with this other stuff, he gonna come back to work. I wouldn't be surprised if he do the ultimate sin, his suicide. Because bruh, he's such a narcissistic that he couldn't stand not being somewhere and not being seen. His whole life, his whole career was about him being seen in the public. It was about him, taking everybody else's dreams and making them his. And now, him nor his kids would profit from anything from Bad Boy or Sean Puffy Combs again. His kids is gonna suffer behind this.
Wow, man, that's crazy to hear, man. And you knowing Diddy, you think it's a good chance he might take his life?
He was talking about taking his life at the City College thing. Yo, D. Ferg, ASAP Ferg father, say, yo, man, we gotta watch him, man. This nigga talking about killing himself. I say, so let him. If you're that weak, I said, let him. And he said, Eugene, why you say that? I said, man, listen to me, man. He ain't no good to nobody if he talking about hurting himself. His life don't belong to him. His life belong to God. What he should be trying to do right now is work his way towards God now, for real, and not that devil we've been worshiping. That those people got him believing, you understand, that's the true God. Because everything from what I know, since I've been around him, you know, everything that's gone forward has been that of the devil. The drugs, the alcohol, the partying, everything has been of the devil. And he's been leading not only himself, our people.
Over the past few decades, Diddy has built an empire and become one of the most powerful people in the music industry. Whether these accusations are true or not, they could seriously harm Diddy's reputation and cause sponsors, fans, and collaborators to distance themselves from him, which could result in losses both financially and professionally. Although it's unclear how these allegations will affect his legacy in the long run, it's certain that they have already had a major negative effect.
So yesterday, Lil Rod hits me up.
Oh.
I've hit him up previously. I said, hey, come on, I want you to come on stream, explain what's going on.
Yeah, I actually DM'd him. When I went to his page, I just noticed he was following me. So I DM'd him. I said, do you want to do an interview? He saw it, but he didn't respond.
Okay.
So he hits you up?
Hits me up.
Okay.
Says, what's my number? Doesn't call. You know, like, I know sometimes people hack people's pages and try to get their numbers through just, he unsends message. Odd. Okay, cool. Unsend my number. About an hour ago, go by, and a random number calls me. They call me a couple times, then they text me and say, hey, call us back. I call back. Now, it's very clear that I'm accurate. I don't know if this has anything to do with Lil Rod, but I'm telling the timing that anybody can make their own decision on what they think is happening. And after this call, I really said, yeah, this stinks. Something ain't right.
Yeah.
So they say to me, hey, we got some information. They said this is Christian Combs' bodyguard. That's what they say. That's what they told me. I think that's a lie. But regardless, it's cool. They say we have some information that you would want. I said, what is that? They said, well, the new lawsuit, Christian Combs was on the yacht, and right before molesting or sexually assaulting this woman, he was actually rapping in the studio. We have the song he was rapping. There's two audios. There's just the song, and then there is another audio that contains screams and whatever of the girl. They said, we're gonna give you the audio of the song. I'm like, okay. Then they give me more information. He was rapping over, and this is where I'm like, guess what he was rapping on? Cassie, me and you, Pete. I'm serious.
Yeah.
They sent me the song.
Right, because there's so much crazy. I'll tell you this.
Just put a picture on this.
Yeah.
So you're telling me the father is accused. By the way, this happened in 2022, but still, like, Diddy was with Cassie, right? So you're telling me years later, after they break up, the son says, hey, yo, put my father's ex-girlfriend beat on. And as soon as he hears it, he raps a few bars and says, fuck it, let me do some sexual assault into her.
Yeah.
There have long been rumors and conspiracy theories regarding occult activities and secret organizations inside Hollywood and the music business, many of which lack serious proof. The claims have renewed conversations about the darker sides of the entertainment industry. These discussions have been revitalized by the current scandal, which has prompted demands for more accountability and transparency in the sector. Coming up with these accusations and placing himself at the center of a major scandal has had a psychological toll on Christian Combs that cannot be ignored. The criticism from both his family and the public might have serious effects on his emotional and mental health. Supporters contend that he needs to be shielded from harm and allowed the freedom to voice his views without worrying about retaliation.
Now, do you think he has a mole or an informant in his camp that's cooperating?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Listen, bro. Just doing law enforcement myself, just take for instance. I think the individual was a Syracuse former basketball player named Jason Barnes or Beard or something like that. He already had drug charges against him. The day Diddy house get raided, they catch him getting on a plane and they put him into custody. Didn't that sound a little weird? People didn't catch that. They either put him in custody for a couple of reasons. You understand? One, to make a witness out of him, or to safeguard him and protect him for anything that could happen to him, because they had already stated, allegedly, that he was some kind of mule for the people over there at Diddy's house. So now, with that information, that he was already known by the government for drug charges, wouldn't that be an individual that you use? I'm gonna give you something different. And I'm gonna give you something else that people don't even think. On the other day, I seen on the video that Puff had ran into Justin Bieber. They met up and he started tapping him as if he was searching him and see if he had some kind of device on. Did you see that?
Yep.
Check this out. What if the federal government have already talked to Justin Bieber? And Diddy did that on tape. That means in his mind, he think this person may be a witness, right?
Yep.
What he has just done that is against the law.
Nothing that we seen.
Tampering with a federal witness. If they have already talked to Justin Bieber prior to him doing that,
An impartial investigation could help establish the veracity of the video and unearth the truth behind the allegations, given the seriousness of the allegations. Such investigations would need to be comprehensive and transparent to guarantee that justice is served and that any wrongdoings are appropriately addressed. The acts of Christian Combs have brought attention to the significance of whistleblowers in revealing possible misconduct and abuses. However, whistleblowers often face serious dangers, including as threats to their legal rights, career consequences, and personal assaults. Encouraging people to voice their concerns and cultivating an environment of accountability require protecting and supporting whistleblowers.
he goes and look like he's searching them. It appears that he's asking Justin Bieber, yo, you got a wire or something like that? Like, you're tampering with a federal witness. That's a charge right there that can land him in jail. Reckless. That was real reckless.
Man, it's gonna be kind of crazy to see everything unfold, man. Well, if worse comes to worse, and Diddy has to do some time, how do you think he's gonna handle it?
Usually individuals acclimate themselves into situations and they do the best that they can do. I just don't think him being a free spirit and off drugs, once he gets into that situation, that he'll handle it that well. I could be wrong.
A lot of people believe he's going to end himself.
Well, I heard him say that before when that City College incident happened. He was talking like that back then. Because he thought it was a possibility that he would be going to jail. He lost his job at Uptown. So he's done a lot of things, been a lot of places. I don't think he has the spirit to be behind bars.
Both Diddy and Christian's fans have been outspoken in their reactions. While some have praised Christian for his bravery and offered support, others have denounced him for what they perceive to be a betrayal of his father. These divergent viewpoints serve to highlight the challenges Christian faces in his family and the complexities of relationships.
I don't know if you've seen this, right? But it was on social media. I think the Shade Room, they posted it. It was a Diddy post that they posted. And Cassie, her husband, left a comment and called Diddy old and fruity. How you feel about him saying that?
I think that him and Cassie be pillow talking. That's his wife. He didn't see Cassie can't say anything because he made her sign ND, a non-disclosure. But she could whisper things in her husband's ear. And some of the stuff that she's probably saw had to go through with dude, her husband just speaking on it. He can't say where he got it from. But then again, he gotta know. People gotta know where he got it from. That's his wife. Yes, he's an older guy. He might be a whole lot of fruity too. But Cassie would know that just like Kim knew that.
So you feel like Cassie is the one that's telling her husband stuff behind the scenes about Puffy?
Right. And you got to realize he was their trainer. He was her trainer before he became her husband. So she may have was telling him stuff way before they was even married. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. So before we get off of this topic, right, because I'm sure people is going to want me to ask you being around Puffy, is there any truth to him being fruity?
I don't know what you mean by really, do I see this man being fruity? Does a man like other men? I think he's brother love. He love other men. Bruh, I can say this, and I'm gonna leave it at that when I say it. And this is not something that, really interests me. It might interest the viewers and everything like that, but they live this weird rock and roll lifestyle where they touchy-feely with each other. And all I could say in situations like that is that if two men lay down, how many fruity men get up?
The scandal highlights how vital it is for the entertainment industry to be transparent. By ensuring that executives and artists act morally and openly, it can help prevent abuses of power and foster trust between fans and industry professionals, which in turn fosters a more sustainable and healthy environment for all parties.
Looking at this lawsuit, right, Lil Rod, he alleges that, Diddy told him personally that he had sex with Usher. And when you look at the lawsuit, even though they got Usher's name redacted, you could tell who it is because they describe him as the guy that performed at the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, we all know who that is, but how you feel about that, man?
Well, I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember, Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. Y'all put it together.
And what you mean by Diddy camp?
Remember? He was on one of the talk shows. The white guy with the curly hair. What's his name? The white guy with the curly hair. And he said, yo, would you send your son to Diddy camp? And Usher said, no. Ask him why he won't send him to Diddy camp. But yet and still you praise him.
Damn, man, and you said that, I know you can't go into detail, but you said that it was a situation where Diddy sent him to the hospital?
Let Usher explain that to you. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
Looking at this lawsuit closely, Ludd claims that Diddy personally informed him that he had a sexual relationship with Usher. However, even though Usher's name has been redacted, you can still identify him because the lawsuit describes him as the guy who performed at the Super Bowl. So we all know who that is. But how you feel about that man, I know, and people know that was around that in that time that puffing Usher did have a situation, and that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you gonna give him a pass, bro? You know, I know. Let me refrain you on something. Remember Usher, we were at the Swiss Hotel. Well, I mentioned that earlier that he said about Stevie J, the Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay. Kim in the room had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the other big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. He came outside in this row. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. You puff, went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right. When you was at Diddy camp, y'all put it together. And what you mean by did he count? Remember he was on one of the talk shows, the white guy with the curly hair. What's his name? The white guy with the curly hair. And he said, yo, would you send your son to Diddy camp? And US said, no, ask him why he won't send him to Diddy camp. But yet still you praise him, damn. And you said that I know you can't go into detail, but you said that it was a situation where D sent him to the hospital. Let us explain that to you. Let us, your mom, explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York. The long-term effects of the scandal are hard to forecast. But if the accusations cause major changes in the industry, they may have a beneficial effect that lasts a long time. On the other hand, if the scandal fades without taking any action, it might increase skepticism and distrust among fans and artists. The answers from all those involved and the actions made to address the underlying problems will determine the accusation's true legacy. Combs' publication of video purportedly capturing Diddy taking part in satanic rites has caused a great deal of controversy in the entertainment sector. Concern and demands for responsibility and openness have been raised by the claims. The effect of the scandal is already being felt by individuals concerned, but the truth behind the video is still unknown. As the story develops, it will be crucial for all parties to treat the issue with integrity, respect, and a dedication to finding the truth.